The story of the Taj Mahal. Prologue, a monument of love and time. In the city of Agra, beside the calm, slow-moving waters of the Yamuna River, rises a vision in white marble that seems untouched by the centuries. The Taj Mahal is not just stone and mortar, it is poetry written in marble, an echo of a love so profound that it has defied time. But like all great stories, its origins are not simply in beauty. Behind its perfection lie tales of passion, loss, politics, ambition, and even tragedy. The Mughal world. The year was 1627, and the Mughal Empire stretched from the snow-capped Himalayas in the north to the tropical Deccan in the south. Rich in art, culture, and wealth, it was one of the most powerful empires in the world. Its ruler-to-be, Prince Khurram, soon to be known as Shah Jahan, was a man of refined tastes. He was the son of Emperor Jahangir and grandson of the legendary Akbar the Great. Shah Jahan had grown up surrounded by grandeur, domed palaces, scented gardens, courts alive with poets, musicians, and scholars. But amid the glitter of power, his heart belonged to a single woman. The meeting, a princess named Arjumand. Years earlier, in 1607, when Shah Jahan was just 15, he had wandered into the bustling Meena Bazar in Agra, a market organized in the Mughal court where noble ladies sold fine goods for charity. There, he saw a young woman named Arjumand Banu Begum, the niece of Empress Noor Jahan. Her beauty was described as so luminous that it seemed the moon itself had lent her its glow. It was love at first sight. He was a prince, she was of noble blood. Their match was politically acceptable, but in the royal Mughal household, marriages were matters of strategy, and Shah Jahan had to marry 2 other women before he could finally wed Arjumand. In 1612, he did. After marriage, she was given the title Mumtaz Mahal, chosen one of the palace. She was not only his wife but also his closest confidant, advisor, a love beyond the ordinary. Unlike many royal couples of the time, Shah Jahan and Mumtaz were inseparable. She travelled with him on military campaigns, accompanied him in court, and bore him 14 children in 19 years. Chroniclers wrote that he never took another wife into his heart as he did Mumtaz. She was intelligent, compassionate, and deeply charitable, known for helping widows and orphans. But fate was about to turn their story from one of joy to one of grief. The death that changed an empire. In 1631, during a military campaign in Burhanpur in the Deccan, Mumtaz Mahal went into labor with their 14th child. The delivery was long and agonizing. She died in childbirth, leaving Shah Jahan shattered. Witnesses say he wept for days, refusing food and music, dressing in simple white mourning clothes. For a week, the court's musicians were silent. The emperor, once a figure of unshakable strength, seemed suddenly old and frail. It was then that he resolved to build her a tomb so magnificent that the world would remember their love for eternity. The vision begins. Construction began in 1632. Shah Jahan summoned the greatest architects, engineers, and artisans from across the empire and beyond. Historians believe Ustad Ahmad Lahori was the chief architect, though a team of designers contributed to the final plan. Craftsmen came from Persia, the Ottoman Empire, Central Asia, and India. The Yamuna River would provide the water for the gardens, and a massive scaffold of bamboo was erected to build the central dome. The architecture of eternity. The Taj Mahal complex was carefully planned, a grand gateway, vast Charbagh gardens, divided into 4 parts by water channels, a mosque, a guest house, and at the center, the mausoleum. The white Makrana marble was brought from Rajasthan, carried by over 1,000 elephants. Precious stones from all over the world were inlaid into the marble, jasper from Punjab, jade and crystal from China, turquoise from Tibet, lapis lazuli from Afghanistan, sapphire from Sri Lanka, and carnelian from Arabia. The inlay work, called pietra dura, formed delicate flowers, wines, and Quranic inscriptions in black marble. The dome and the illusion. The central dome, rising 73 meters high, is flanked by 4 minarets that lean slightly outward, a subtle engineering trick so they would fall away from the tomb in case of an earthquake. Inside, the cenotaphs, false tombs, of Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal rest under the dome, while their actual graves lie in a quiet crypt below. Light plays a vital role. At sunrise the marble glows pink, at midday dazzling white, and at sunset a warm golden hue. Under moonlight, it appears almost transparent. Years of labor. It took about 22 years and more than 20,000 workers to complete the Taj Mahal. By 1653, the monument was ready, a perfect blend of Persian, Islamic, and Indian architectural styles, yet unlike anything built before or since. For Shah Jahan, it was not just a tomb, it was his eternal message to the world: this is what love looks like, carved in stone. The fall of a king. But destiny had other plans. In 1658, Shah Jahan's son Aurangzeb seized the throne in a bloody struggle and imprisoned his father in Agra fort. From his cell, Shah Jahan could see the Taj Mahal in the distance. They say he spent his last years gazing at it, until he died in 1666. Aurangzeb, despite his strained relationship with his father, buried Shah Jahan beside Mumtaz, reuniting them in death. The Taj through the ages. After the Mughal Empire's decline, the Taj Mahal suffered neglect. During the 18th century, precious stones were plundered, gardens overgrown. In the colonial era, Lord Curzon of the British Raj ordered its restoration, adding the marble lamp in the cenotaph chamber and replanted gardens in the English style. Myths, legends, and truth. Over the centuries, the Taj Mahal has attracted stories, some true, others fanciful. The most famous is the Black Taj legend, that Shah Jahan planned a mirror image in black marble across the Yamuna as his own tomb. Archaeological evidence is debated, and most historians dismiss it as myth. Another tale claims that workers' hands were cut off to prevent them from building another masterpiece. Again, no strong historical proof exists. The Taj in the modern era. In 1983, UNESCO declared it a World Heritage Site. Today, millions of visitors from around the globe come each year. But the Taj faces threats: pollution, acid rain, and the river's changing course threaten its pristine marble. Conservation efforts continue, from mudpack cleaning to strict bans on nearby industrial activity. Symbol beyond stone. The Taj Mahal has inspired poets, painters, photographers, and filmmakers for centuries. Rabindranath Tagore called it a teardrop on the cheek of time. For lovers, it's a pilgrimage; for architects, a master class; for India, a symbol of heritage. Epilogue: the eternal embrace. If you stand before the Taj Mahal at dawn, when the mist still clings to the Yamuna and the first light touches the dome, you might feel, just for a moment, that you are witnessing not just a building, but a heartbeat. A king's grief, a queen's memory, the labor of thousands, and the passing of centuries, all held together in marble, forever.